got a brand new show coming at you here tonight. I'm just going to give everybody a chance to jump on in. We're going to be whipping up some egg salad lettuce wraps. Super excited about this one. This is one that Drew and I have quite often, so we're very excited to share it with you. If you're just jumping in here and want to cook along with us, or with me, Drew's behind the scenes, you can go ahead and grab your boiled eggs. So I hope you had a chance to receive the recipe beforehand to know that we're using boiled eggs, and hopefully you had a chance to boil those up. So grab your boiled eggs. If you didn't receive the recipe beforehand, it means you're not subscribed. So go on ahead and subscribe to Cooking with Dorothy. This allows you to get the recipe before the show so that you can buy the ingredients, cook along with us. And also, we send out the show afterwards so that if you need a chance to go over the show again or share it with friends, you have the access to that right in your inbox. And then finally, subscribing gives you a chance to be entered into draws when we have draws. So sometimes throughout the shows, we like to give back and have draws and prizes. So if you're subscribed to the show, that'll give you the opportunity to be entered into draws as well. So thank you for being here. We're just going to get started here in a few minutes. We're just going to give everyone an opportunity to jump on in. Grab your boiled eggs. Grab your oil, avocado oil or olive oil is suggested. You'll need your Himalayan salt, your pepper, and your avocado, and some mustard. I pre-chopped a couple of green onions here, so you'll need those as well. So thank you once again for tuning in. If you are... What are you doing there, Drew?
Putting up my hand. My turn.
Oh, he wants to talk now.
I'd like to welcome some people on if that's okay with you.
Okay, Drew, go ahead.
Alright, we have Chantel in here.
Hey, Chantel.
She says hi, Drew and Dorothy, and then Tina says hi, Drew and Dorothy, too. Thanks,
Chantel
guys.
And Tina.
Chantel and Tina. We got a handful of people in here. If you guys are in here and you'd like to say hi, let us know you're here. We would love to know who's watching.
Yeah, we always like to know who's tuning in, who's watching. So it's always nice that you give us a hello. But if you like to sit back, quiet too, that's fine as well. If you're new to tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are a frequent viewer like Tina, Chantel, welcome back.
And Louise.
And Louise, you're in here too. Thanks for coming back, Louise. Must mean if you're coming back, must mean we're doing something right. We haven't scared you off.
We got 130 hearts already.
Oh my goodness.
We're on fast track.
That's Chantel right there. Chantel pushes the heart button. She's looking at me like, what are you talking about? But thanks, guys, for your hearts. Drew loves the hearts. On our last live Friday morning show, I think we got to 3,000, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. It was crazy. It was 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys hung out with us last Friday for 2 hours. That's crazy. One more thing before we get started here. I hope it's not too much to ask you guys to share the show, but we're always trying to reach more people and help more people. So it would help us if you could share the show live right now. And we hope that's not too much. But if you feel like that's something you could do, we would love it if you could share the show live. We're trying to reach a larger audience. So
and
that
help more people.
And help more people. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Jenny Fleet, she says, hey, how's it going? Hi from Nova Scotia.
Hey, Jenny. Jenny was in Body Fit. I feel like Body Fit's kind of like Body Break. Body Fit. Yeah, I certainly missed you once you left Olds College there, Jenny, to go back to Nova Scotia. I hope everything is going well in Nova Scotia. Are we good to begin, Drew?
I think that's ready to rock it. Let's do it.
We're ready to rock it. So I quickly named the ingredients at the beginning of the show here, but let's go over them one more time before we jump into the egg salad lettuce wraps. There you go. And of course we're doing these dairy-free because dairy is one of the top allergens out there. You know, lots of people have digestion problems and issues, tummy issues. And, you know, for a lot of people, that can root back to dairy. So that's why we're doing dairy-free today. And let's just get started by looking at some of the ingredients here. So we have our eggs, of course, and let's talk about eggs for a minute. Drew, you can help me out if I stumble a little bit.
I'm with you.
So I feel that eggs for a long time got a bad rap because there was all of that cholesterol talk and research a while back. But eggs now there's new research always coming out, right? So now eggs are a really good protein isolate. That just means that they're going to be able to digest a bit more quickly. And they're actually one of the top proteins to digest quickly. True?
Easiest.
Easiest. See? I did a little backup there, Drew. So eggs are perfectly fine to have as a protein. And they're going to help digest it more quickly, easily. Not quickly. Easily. In our bodies. And a lot of times people, should I just have the egg whites, the whole egg? There is that dilemma as well. Go ahead, have the whole egg. Don't feel bad about eating the egg yolk in there as well. And if you're like, Drew, you just like the white part of the boiled egg and leave the yolk. I don't know what that is about, but that's what Drew does. I'll be peeling eggs and then...
I'll be peeling eggs, thank you.
No, I peel the eggs. Oh, this could be a debate. Who peels the eggs in the house? Anyway.
I like to have the top.
Drew likes to... I'm just going to hold up an egg here. So, Drew likes to peel off, I suppose you would say, or cut off. I'm just going to show them what you do, Drew. Don't you bite it, though. Drew will just, peel off the top. And he eats the top.
I got to eat that top.
Part, and then he starts, peeling down and eating a little bit of this.
I just eat the top.
And a little bit of that. And then a little bit of this. And then I'm only left with this part. The yolk. That's what Drew does.
It's only one, though.
He only does one in the batch. Alright, I think that's enough egg talk. If you have questions about eggs, let us know in the comments. You know what? Hard-boiled eggs is what we're using for this recipe, but we'd like to know what is your favorite way to have eggs. So do you like them scrambled? Do you like them boiled hard or hard-boiled like this? Poached? We've been doing poached eggs for the last little while, loving us some poached eggs. Fried eggs, let us know how you like your eggs in the comments. We always like to know your favorites. So you can just comment on in there. Other than eggs, you'll need 6 eggs total, boiled eggs total. And then you'll need some mustard, an oil. We would suggest an avocado oil or an olive oil for this recipe here. Himalayan salt, pepper, avocado. And then you'll need a couple of chives, 1 or 2. These are green onions, actually, not chives. But chives are green onions. So just a couple, 1 or 2, depending on how many you like. I do have a secret ingredient that I'm throwing in tonight, which is quinoa. We'll talk about quinoa a little bit later and why I'm adding this in. It's not in the recipe, so this is new news. It's because it's not in the recipe. So we'll talk about quinoa in a little bit. Drew, before we get chopping it up, do you have anything that you'd like to share?
I don't know what you're talking about. I would say I'll read a couple comments.
That's what I was getting at.
Oh, I thought you just wanted me to share in general. I went slacklining today.
How was your day?
Okay, we have Chantel here that said, I prefer the white part of the egg too.
Oh.
I'm with you, Chantel.
Chantel, thought you were on my side.
It's like the dark part of the meat. Like if you eat the chicken, for example, I like the dark because it's moist. Dorothy's, and then it's like the white or the yellow part of the egg seems dry to me if they're boiled.
Right. But Drew also likes his eggs when they're fried. He likes them over hard, and I like mine over easy. Like and the runny in the middle. Oh, there's another question about eggs. You like the yolk runny or hard?
We got here, Sue is in here.
Hey, Sue.
Swamp Lil Sue she says, howdy guys. Thanks for joining us, Sue.
Yes.
Hope you're rocking your workouts. And we have Suzanne in here. Thanks
Hey, Suzanne.
Thanks for coming back, Suzanne. Louise says she likes hers poached.
Oh, I love poached eggs. I'll have to do like a little video at some time because I never did poached eggs for the longest time is because I couldn't like get them going. But then I don't know what happened. I just magically like made the little whirlpool and dropped the egg in.
Magically.
And the whites just like swirl around the yolk and it came out like perfect.
Wouldn't we all like to come up our first try with perfect like Dorothy?
Oh my gosh, Drew. I'll do a little video and I'll show you how to do the whirlpool for the poached eggs. It works so good.
Lindsay says, over easy, runny yolk.
Yeah, me too, Lindsay.
Yuck,
I'm
Lindsay.
with you, Lindsay. I like that running.
Louise says, yolk has always been my favorite. I like it runny. Gross.
Yes! I got two. Oh, this is not two. Two.
Oh, we got Cindy in here on Instagram.
Hey, Cindy.
Cindy, we're going to be starting our Teachers Reduce Stress group up soon. Get excited.
Yes, get excited. So if you're tuning in and you're a teacher, we do have a special group coming up specifically designed for teachers in reducing stress. So let us know if you're a teacher and like to be a part of that.
I'm ready to rock. Let's make it
ready
happen.
to rock? All right. So this might be a little comical for some. I know it's quite funny for Drew. But I use my scissors, my kitchen scissors, to cut up the eggs. You could use a knife if you want to chop them up. Drew uses a masher, but I would not do the masher myself. I think Tina said she uses the masher. Is that right, Tina? Do you mash them? I can't remember. I think we're talking about this somewhere else.
I think you're a masher, Tina.
I think Tina's a masher. But I like to use my scissors. And I just get my chop on here. It's so much easier. But Drew thinks every time I'm cutting eggs, Drew thinks it's hilarious. He laughs just like that every time. Like it's the first time that he's seen me cut eggs with scissors. But it's so convenient. Just take up your kitchen scissors and chop away.
Can you smile at the camera for a second?
This one?
Yeah. Thank you. Cindy said she can't wait. I am always marketing team. Do you know what the True Form motto is?
Oh, dear. Do you really want to know what the True Form motto is?
It's ABM. Can anyone tell what?
That's Drew's,
ABM.
how do you call that acronym?
That's my acronym.
That's Drew's acronym that he made up, and he's like, ABM! All the time, and I'm like,
You like it. Cindy said I can't wait. Did I say that?
Yes, you did say that.
Okay. So does anyone else use scissors to like cut their eggs or chives or anything?
I do it for my chives.
It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Cilantro? Drew thinks it's so bizarre, but I was like, you use a potato masher? Like, what do you
It's supposed
have to say?
You're supposed to use a potato masher. That's what it's for. Tina says, yes, I'm a masher.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry to hear that, Tina.
Don't listen to her, Tina.
The reason I don't enjoy the masher is because it makes it so mushy, and I like my egg salad chunky. So I suppose it's a preference if you like it chunky or if you like it mushy, but I like mine chunky.
Keep those hearts coming, team. I love it. Thank you. If you guys are enjoying the show or Dorothy's tips, just hit the heart button. Rochelle Frazier said, I just put Dorothy's pumpkin loaf in my oven.
Wow, that's amazing! I can't wait to hear how you like it. Oh, we sure like that one, and it's great at this time of year.
It's so cool that people are making your recipes and sharing them. So cool.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things to hear is when people tell me, oh, I made your muffins or I made your loaf or, cookies or whatever it is. It's just so fun. And the shares on Facebook, that's pretty cool too. When we get a picture shared on Facebook of one of our recipes and get tagged in it, that's pretty cool too. All right. Oh, Drew, look at this. Your topper.
Oh, give that here. Toss that
no,
over here.
It's going in. Sorry. Okay, I think we got it all in here except a little. See how easy that is? Just chop, chop, chop.
Lindsay says chives and green onion. I'm guessing that's what she chops scissors with. I asked that question. Does anyone use scissors for anything?
Yes, chives, green onion, cilantro, parsley, eggs. What else?
I don't know.
If we ate like meat, I probably would chop the chicken with it. But you know what, guys? Like, I just don't. I have an issue with the touching of the meat.
Good touching. Like Chantel says, ABM is always be mindful.
Oh, that is so close.
That's close. That's
always be.
Close.
What's the guys?
It should be AB. It should be always be mindful, Chantel.
It should be. That's better.
Now I'm embarrassed by mine.
Somebody's is better.
Louise says I use a fork to mash my eggs.
Oh, that's a great idea too.
She said it still leaves the eggs somewhat chunky.
Nice. So you like chunky eggs too.
Sue says I have a egg slicer.
Oh, those are super cool. They just go.
Oh.
Did you ever see one of those, Drew?
I've seen one, but I've never used one.
Yeah. As you can see, we don't really have fancy kitchen tools. But that is a cool tool. Alright, I'm going to keep going if I can, Drew.
Yeah, Suzanne said I use a fork, and Lindsay says I actually found parchment paper cupcake liners today.
Yay, Lindsay! They're the best. The parchment paper muffin cups are the best, especially when we are baking with gluten-free flours. Because for the longest time when I was baking with gluten-free flours, the paper cups for muffins were sticking to my muffin. So you'd peel it off and half of your muffin would stay on the liner. And it was so frustrating. And then these parchment paper muffin cups came into my life. Oh. And they just peel away so nicely. So thanks for sharing that, Lindsay. That's awesome. I can't wait to hear how you like them. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Louise says I use a knife on my herbs.
Oh, yeah. Most people probably would. All right, so got our 6 eggs. 6 eggs will do about 4 to 6 wraps, depending on how much of the egg salad you put into your wraps. So that'll give you that. The next we're going to do is avocado. Depending on the size of your avocado, you're going to use a half or a whole avocado. If it's a smaller avocado, you're going to use a half. No, if it's smaller avocado, you're going to use the whole thing. If it's a bigger avocado, you can use half. This one guy is a medium-sized avocado. I'm not sure. I'm going to open that up. Oh, it's a beautiful one. So nice and green. The pit is large. Holy smoly. So, I'm going to see how much this gives us.
Maybe we should plant that.
Oh, Drew. Planting of the... So this is how I like to do my avocados. As you saw, I sliced in half and twisted it off. And then I like to slice down the half and get quarters. Then, I just like to peel off the... What do you call this, Drew?
The peel?
The skin. Peel off the skin like that. And then I slice down the middle. And again, because I like things chunky, I just chunk it up in there, like this. You could do smaller chunks too. That's what I like, is it's all about preference. But that's my favorite way. And then if you were going to put an avocado on a sandwich or in something else, for example, you could just do a skinny slice like that. And that's my favorite way to, I guess, cut avocados.
Cindy wanted to know if your mom used scissors in the kitchen like you.
No, I don't think so. I'd have to ask her, Mom, where are you? Usually my mom's watching.
Why aren't you watching?
But she's not in here, is she, Drew? My mom?
I don't think so.
Yeah, usually my mom's watching. I don't think... Oh, Drew, have you seen my mom use scissors in the kitchen?
Nope.
No. I don't know. If she was here to ask her, but I can't remember. But that would be interesting. I know my dad doesn't use scissors in the kitchen. My dad does a lot of the cooking.
We got quite a few more people in here. Maybe you want to ask them to share again.
Sure.
They haven't.
Of course. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for being in here with us, making the recipe here. At the beginning of the show, we just asked if you if you could share the show on your page, because we're trying to increase our audience so that we can reach more people and help more people improve their health, improve their lives, and it just means so much to us. Just as share goes a long way. So if you could share the show live right now to on your page, that would mean so much to us. Are we ready to rock through? So I'm going to put half an avocado in here right now, because mine was a medium-sized avocado. If you have a smaller avocado, you can put the full thing in. And if you just really like avocado, go ahead. Put the whole thing in there. Next, we're going to put in some oil. So you can use, this one is avocado oil. You could use olive oil as well. And I'm just going to, the recipe calls for a couple of tablespoons, but I'm just going to go measureless. I made up a word. I didn't know how to say that. I'm not going to measure is what I'm saying to you. I'm just going to guess, which I do a lot. But if you're not good at guessing and you don't want to guess, 1 or 2 tablespoons would be about the measurement there. And then I'm a little embarrassed to show you guys this because it's like the no-name kind of mustard. We usually have like really nice mustard, like a nice Dijon mustard or something like this. But this is what we had in our fridge, and I was like, I don't know if I want to show them that. But, you know, it's what's in our fridge, and it's what's real. So this is what we had, and, you know, the reason it found its way into our cart was, 1, because there wasn't another Dijon mustard available at the store we were at. And 2, because their ingredients, surprisingly, were clean. So we've got vinegar, water, mustard seed, sea salt, turmeric, paprika in here, which shocked both Drew and I because we thought like
the cheap brand.
It's the cheap brand, and we thought it would have, you know, the yellow dye, which is one you want to watch out for in mustards, especially the cheaper quality ones. And what's the other one, Drew? Oh, sulfates. A lot of times, and I'm not sure why, but I guess because it's a preservative, but we find a lot of times sulfates in the cheaper mustards, and then the yellow dye in the cheaper mustards. But this one was clean, which shocked us both. But that's how it goes, I guess. Sometimes I was like, well, I don't know if I want to show them our cheap mustard. But it happens, right? That's life. But always check your ingredients, even if you, what am I saying? Even if you don't have other choices, check your ingredients always.
Just want to mention Dylan's in here.
Hey, Dylan!
Hey, Dylan. Dylan has a restaurant in Ponoka.
Yes.
And
sorry, I'll let you talk to him.
Just wanted to say that Dylan has some of the best food ever.
He does. Yes.
So if you get a chance, head over to Rancher's Castle.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous now that you're watching Dylan, because Dylan is like a really great chef. So this is awesome, Dylan. Thank you for being in here. Mustard, again, it's more preference as measurement. I just went and drizzled the amount that I wanted on there. If you don't feel like you want to be drizzly, then you can do a tablespoon and maybe 2 tablespoons. It's always best to start with smaller amounts. Start with 1 tablespoon, see how it tastes, and then go from there. I'm just going to give it a little stir before I put the salt and pepper in.
You did have a question while you're stirring there.
Yeah, I like questions.
Suzanne says, how do you pick out an avocado?
Oh, that's a great question. And it can be very frustrating to sometimes because they're too hard or they're too soft or, you know, avocados can just be difficult, I think. One of the more difficult things to pick up. So, Drew, you actually have a trick. I don't want to steal your thunder on that one. But tell them your avocado trick, Drew.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a trick, but if you pull off the top...
Let me get one. See, this is a tiny avocado. So what Drew means is this little thing.
Knobby.
Knobby. So if you're at the store, just pull it off. A second.
See how challenging it is? That means it's not ripe.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at it, if it's brown, it usually means it's overripe. If it's a light green, it usually means it's underripe. Mm-hmm. So that's just a little tricky. I kind of have to find a happy medium. And the other thing is that you have to, it's really experience. Like you have to guess and test and you have to do it because you'll get a feel like Dorothy's like, just, can you pick me an avocado? And I can just literally pick it up in my hand and be like, yeah, this is right. No, this is not. So it really takes experience to do it. And I know it's challenging because they're expensive. And then sometimes you get like a huge flop and you have to throw it away. But if you practice, you'll get great at it. You won't even have to think about it.
Yeah, Drew is a little bit better than I am at picking the avocados. But it needs to be that kind of balance between hard and soft, because if it's too hard, it's not going to be ripe. If it's too soft, it's going to be brown and kind of mushy on the inside. So it needs to be kind of that happy medium, a little bit hard but a little bit soft. And it's tricky to explain without having avocados there for you to test and squeeze yourselves. But just kind of keep that in mind as well. And if you get them from the grocery store and they're super hard, then throw them in a fruit basket or on the counter to ripen. They'll ripen a lot better on the counter as opposed to in the fridge. So but just make sure you're watching them and don't leave them for 3 or 4 days. Check them regularly every morning because they will ripen quickly and they go from just perfectly ripe to overripe really fast. So you'll just want to catch them at the perfect ripeness point. That's our avocado talk. If you have more questions, just fire them at us. We love questions. So please don't feel like you have to hold back if you have questions. We love, love, love questions. So one of the reasons we use avocado in this recipe is because we want to get our healthy fats in. We talked earlier about how eggs are digest, what was I supposed to say?
More easily.
Digest easily. But they also, how can I explain, Drew, about the energy? With that protein isolate.
They digest quickly, so they go to your muscles, they go to your process through your body very quickly, so it doesn't take time to get to where you want them to get to.
So thank you for helping me out, saving me. But what I wanted to point out there was if we just had egg salad without a healthy fat, for example, we'd be hungry quicker. So that's why we have the avocado in there, is because the avocado is slower to digest in our bodies, and our bodies utilize the nutrients as energy. So you're going to feel fuller longer by putting avocado in there as well. So that's why we put that in there. And all that's left, you guys, is to throw in our green onions. So I chopped up 2 green onions with my scissors. So I'm going to just stir those in there. And if you're not a big onion fan, then you don't have to put them in. They're just for taste, really. Or you could put 1 in, half of 1 in, whatever. That's what I really like about this recipe, too, is it's a lot to do with preference.
We got about 600 hearts.
Woohoo! Thank you, you guys.
I think we can get to 1,000.
I think so, too.
I think we can do a team.
All right.
You were going to talk about quinoa. I don't want to step on your toes.
I know. I'm getting there, Drew. Just hold on. Next, we're just going to throw in some salt and pepper. So we'll do pepper first. And again, that's just preference. I would say we're pepper people, wouldn't you, Drew? We like our pepper.
Yeah.
Drew's shaking his head. No.
I don't think we use pepper a lot.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what to compare it to. Let's see, we got some questions here. Louise said, or a comment I should say. She says, I buy a mix of green and brown skinned ones. What would that be? I leave them on the counter until they're a bit riper, then I put them in the fridge.
Oh, avocados.
Right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. That's a great idea, Louise, because then you can have some that are ready right now, and then you can have some harder ones for later. That's a great idea. So the greener ones would be, how can I say, Drew? New, like harder. So they would take a bit longer to ripen, and then the browner ones would be ready. Right? Did I get that right, Drew?
You got it.
That's a great trick, though. We usually do that. Like have a bag of avocados, and we'll pick through, and we will see which ones are ready to use right away, or in a couple of days. And the same thing, Louise, as you do, is put the harder ones in the fridge. All right. The secret ingredient was quinoa. Now, this isn't in the recipe, but we were talking in this, I guess, block. That's the word I was looking for. We were talking in this block of shows how to make healthy lunches, and lunches that are going to make us feel fuller for longer. So we really need to consider all of the macros in our meals so that our body can stay fueled for longer. So we talked about that in our hummus, and last week in our yogurt parfait, we talked about including all of the macronutrients. So in this right here, we have our protein from the eggs, and then we talked about the healthy fat, the avocado, and we also have oil. So we have the healthy oil, olive oil or avocado oil, whatever you're using. But the macro that's missing here would be the complex carb. So if you want it to be a complete meal, including all of your macros, you could throw in a little bit of quinoa into your wrap as well. So you could either throw it right into the mixture, which I'm going to do, or you could sprinkle a little bit onto your lettuce leaf and then put the egg mixture on there. So I'll do that first to show you the two different ways that you can do it. So we're using the lettuce leaf here instead of a traditional tortilla wrap because they're really, really difficult to find clean wraps. And I got so frustrated I spill quinoa everywhere, yes. You'll notice that. It's just what I do.
It's her thing.
Little balls of quinoa everywhere.
Everybody has a thing.
That's just what I do. Where was I? Oh, I was getting very, very frustrated about the amount of time it took to find clean wraps, reading the ingredients. And I was getting frustrated because it was so difficult. And that's when Drew and I started using lettuce leaves instead of like bread or tortilla wraps because it just took my frustration level from up here to down here. And even when we did find a couple of cleaner ones, they were breaking and they were hard and it just wasn't working out. And then, of course, with this meal, you're going to get your fiber from the lettuce leaf. So that's your fourth macronutrients. So you have eggs as protein, you have avocado as healthy fat, the quinoa as your complex carb, and then in your fiber category, you have the lettuce leaf. So it's complete. You have all of your macros. So you could sprinkle a little bit of quinoa on the bottom of your lettuce leaf here, and then you can put in I'm going to use my spoon actually, and then you can spoon in your egg salad into the middle. I'm not going to say that I do this without making a mess, because I'm very messy in the kitchen. I tried at one point to prove Drew wrong that I wasn't messy, but it didn't work out so well.
We got 700 hearts.
Woo! Thank you, everyone.
You guys are rocking it.
So there is your lettuce leaf wrap, and then you want big romaine leaves, and then what I usually do is fold in the top, and then see, it's best to eat them right away because they're not going to stay like this, right? And then fold in the sides, and then you got to go top to bottom when you're eating them. So you turn it around like this, and mine are still a little wet, they're not completely dry, and go top to bottom. So they are a little tricky to eat. If you're packing them on the go, we would suggest packing the lettuce leaves separately. So pack the lettuce leaves in a container, and then pack your egg salad in a different container. in that way, because obviously it's a little bit difficult. They're not going to stay together. So when it is lunchtime, you can take your lettuce leaf out and put it in at work or wherever you are. So that's one way to do it. Or you could just measure out the amount of quinoa you want. For example, here I'm going to put half a cup of quinoa and put it right in the mixture. So you could do that as well. And then you don't have that extra step of putting it down the middle. But that's totally up to you. You could also skip the quinoa and get your healthy carb in a different way. For example, a Complete Truth protein muffin or cookie as a dessert for your lunch. And that would give you your complex carbs as well, if you're skipping out on the quinoa but still want that nutrient. So you can throw it right in the mixture as well. And then, just from there, you can scoop it. Where's my spoon? Oh, there it is. From there, just scoop it onto your wrap, and the quinoa is already in there. So that's how quick and easy it is to make a complete meal. Like, this would be considered a complete meal because it has all of the macronutrients your body needs. And you're going to notice that you're going to stay fuller longer. A lot of times when we get lettuce wraps, maybe we get them and they just have eggs in them, like just eggs in them, or just veggies in them, and we feel hungry like 30 minutes, an hour after. But that would be because you don't have all of the macronutrients in there. Same thing people say to us all the time. Well, I eat a salad at lunch, and 45 minutes later I'm starving. So I can't eat salads. Doesn't fill me up. But you need to look at does it contain all the macros? And that's why we created the monster salad recipe. So if you haven't checked out our monster salad recipe, it's on truthonlife.com under the recipes tab, monster salad. You want to check that one out because it has all of our macros in the salad. What do you got, Drew?
Well, Sue said that you can make your own. She said they're pretty easy. I'm guessing she means wraps.
So wraps.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I wanted to mention our monthly membership. You wanted to mention that.
Sometimes this happens with Drew and I are talking. I give him the blank stare like, Sure. So we do have our monthly membership, and these meals, like this egg salad sandwich, would be a meal that we would put in our meal plan for our monthly membership. We do complete meal plans, complete with grocery shopping lists, and then it's a weekly meal plan. You get a week at a glance that you can put on your fridge, and you know exactly what you're having to eat every single day. And it makes life so much easier when you already have it planned out. When people like your spouse or your kids are saying, what's for dinner? It's already planned for you. And it makes it a lot easier when the grocery shopping list is already done for you as well, because you can grab that and head to the store. So in addition, in our monthly membership, we also have weekly workouts that you can do at home. 20, 30-minute workouts, home-based, no equipment, no gym. And the biggest piece, I suppose, to our monthly membership, in addition to meal planning and workouts, is our online supportive group. So we call it our True Form family because we are a group of close-knit people, and we are all there to support, to encourage, and inspire each other every single day. And it's one of Drew and I's favorite parts of waking up in the morning is hopping onto the monthly membership and touching base with our people, our members, and our friends. And that was one thing that Drew and I never expected when we started the monthly membership, was that the people and our members would become some of our closest friends. So it's just a great place to be. So if you'd like more information about our monthly membership, I think Drew's going to post a link for you guys in the comments. You can check that out, or you can also let us know. You can send us a private message, or you can let us know in the comments, and we'd be happy to talk to you about that.
Linda Lord Purdy said hi.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Thanks for tuning in. We're just wrapping things up. Dorothy, just a quick recap. What did you create?
Today we created egg salad lettuce wraps gluten-free, dairy-free, and pretty simple and easy to make. Hey, Drew?
Fantastic, yeah. That's pretty much it. If you guys don't have any other questions, we are going to wrap things up. We're at about 950 hearts.
950. 50 more, team. Let's hit 1,000. So next week we'll be back. Next Tuesday we'll be back with Cooking with Dorothy. And I was wondering, I had a question for you guys, because I was thinking about we have a really nice chicken salad sandwich that we do too. And I was wondering if you would be interested in another sandwich option, because it's difficult sometimes. I wanted to mention this earlier and I completely forgot. But another reason that we wanted to do the egg salad sandwich today was because it's really important to stay away from luncheon meats, because they are filled with preservatives and chemicals, and they're just not healthy for us. And they are coming out now with some more natural brands, I suppose you say. But we still believe that it's something that we should not be consuming. So that's why we wanted to show you how to make a sandwich or a wrap where you wouldn't need to use those luncheon meats and the cheese that goes on sandwiches too. A lot of times it's the how do you call it, those slices or the orange cheese. Those are things we want to consider moving away from as well. And if you're not ready to completely move away from cheese, be sure that you're buying white cheese and staying away from orange cheese, because the orange cheese is full of dyes and chemicals to make it orange. So cheese should be white. So that's one thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to at the beginning of the show. And I thought maybe it might be a good idea to show you guys another sandwich that wouldn't include like the cheese or the luncheon meat. So we do have a really nice chicken salad sandwich that we do occasionally. So I would be happy to show you that next week or in a future episode coming up here. But just let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd be interested in, is another sandwich or wrap.
Just mention CTP and then we'll get out of here.
All right. So we do have Complete Truth Protein available, I suppose, if we can use that in smoothies and in baking. If you want to check out some past Cooking with Dorothy, our first segment of Cooking with Dorothy, our first block, was all about how to use CTP, Complete Truth Protein, in baking. So it acts as a gluten-free flour in baking, 1-to-1 ratio to conventional flour. So 1 cup conventional flour converts to 1 cup of Complete Truth Protein. Very easy to use, and it's gluten-free. And then also in smoothies, it's great as well, because it's going to give us energy boost. It's so nutrient-packed. It's going to give you an energy boost. It's going to improve your digestion. And when we are feeling more energy, we're usually in a better mood. So to improve your mood as well, improve your digestion, and it's just great. So if you want more information about Complete Truth Protein, you can certainly get you more information about that and chat about that.
Lindsay said, yes, chicken salad sandwich.
Okay, who else? Lindsay says yes. Who else would like to see a chicken salad sandwich? Dairy-free as well.
So I put more details of our monthly membership. If anyone's interested, in the comments below, I just pulled that on the screen. And also more details about Complete Truth Protein. So you guys can click on those links if you like.
I think that's it, everybody. So thank you so much for tuning in. Post your pictures of your lettuce wraps, your egg salad lettuce wraps, so we can see your creations as well. So we would love to see what you guys whip up for these as well. So if you do make this at home, please take a picture and show us. Share the show with your friends. That's greatly appreciated as well. We will catch you guys either Friday morning live, next Tuesday at 7 p.m. here for Cooking with Dorothy, or throughout the week on our page on trueformlife.com. You can also check us out on YouTube, because we have our YouTube channel now. So you can go to youtube.com/trueformlife and check out Day in the Life of D&D. So So I think that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great evening.
See you guys.
Bye.